am super excited about this conversation we're about to have about the best reads for the month. So I welcome to the show Karen McMillan, who is a best-selling author and the director of New Zealand Book Lovers, to talk about some wonderful newly released books. So I'm excited. The first book actually has quite a peculiar title, 3 Dogs, 2 Murders and a Cat. So good morning, Karen. Thank you for joining me. I want to hear more about this book and who is behind this book.
Oh, good morning, Kat. So Rodney Strong, he's a New Zealand author, and he mainly writes cozy murder mysteries. So he's published 17 books, and he delights in freaking people out by telling them that he essentially kills people for a living.
Ooh.
But it's all right because he's made the people up in the first place.
Yeah, it's okay to kill fictitious people when you're writing them off.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us more about this book, 3 Dogs, 2 Murders and a Cat.
So in the opening pages, the reader learns that Nicolette Briggs doesn't do humans, but she does do animals, which is a really good thing because she's Wellington's animal detective. So she investigates missing pets in cases of animal cruelty. So her latest case is about a poisoned cat, and I'm pleased to say that the cat survived, but the
Yes.
client wants to know what happened. So this is exactly the kind of case that Nicolette excels in. Then human body starts turning up. It's
Oh, you've just kind of gone underwater there, the Zoom. Could you just say that last sentence again?
Yeah, sure. So before she knows, she's smack bang in the middle of 2 murder investigations.
Ooh,
Hope you heard that all right.
I heard that for sure. Okay, so what happens next without giving away too much, of course?
Of course, of course. So this is when it gets complicated. She's got a brother who's a police detective, and he doesn't want her encroaching on his work life. She's also got but then someone breaks into her house and actually harms one of her 3 dogs. So she decides she can't stay away from the sidelines. So she resolves to solve the case before the police can. But to further complicate things, she's got this testy but loving relationship with her teenage daughter. She's got a testy but not so loving relationship with the rest of her dysfunctional family. There's a car breakdown when she's no money in the bank. We all know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
And then people generally being much too human and annoying for her. So to cap things off, there's a killer who has her in her sights.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to read this particular title. So what's your verdict on 3 Dogs, 2 Murders and a Cat?
It's the perfect blend of action, mystery, humour, entertaining family dynamics. Honestly, you'll be laughing out loud, and an unforgettable heroine. So it's completely unputtable and unmissable.
Awesome. Okay, so next up, I understand you have a different kind of book, actually, a cookbook. And this is called Cook Ahead by Justine Schofield. So can you tell me a little bit about this book, who's behind it, and why it is special? Because, I mean, look, with all the cookbooks out there, why pick this one?
Yeah, good question. So Justine, she made her TV debut on MasterChef Australia. So people might have seen her on that. So she's been on television since, and she's inspiring home cooks, and she's written 5 cookbooks. So her latest is all about making the most of the humble freezer. And as the title suggests, it's all about cooking ahead. So the idea behind this book is 90 freezer-friendly meals to save time and money in the kitchen. So she's done all the hard work of creating delicious recipes, that are suitable for the task of freezing as well.
Oh, I like the sounds of this because actually that's one thing that we struggle with is imagination around bulk cooking and trying to get meals planned ahead for the week. So I like the sound of 90 freezer-friendly meals. So let's hear about what's under the covers. So, let's get a bit hungry. So what kind of recipes are in this book?
Yeah, some really good recipes. And I don't know about you, Kay, but I don't know what's suitable to be freezing. So she takes all that hard work out of that. So she's got a slow cooked sweet and sour pork. And I didn't know that deep frying food, you shouldn't be freezing it. So in this recipe, she actually slow cooks the pork instead of deep frying it. So you can actually freeze it apparently for 3 months with no problems. So it's one of those dishes that's tender and delicious. So there's also a cauliflower and cashew curry. So curries that I
Mm.
think are good for freezing. And in this case, the cauliflower places the chicken. There's a classic lasagna. So she really has lots of tips about how to, make that less time consuming and also, doing it in a big batch so you can freeze some. She's also got a few sweet treats. So I really like the look of the chunky chocolate chip cookies. So they apparently can freeze it up for 4 months. But I've got to say, in our household, it wouldn't make the freezer at all.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I wouldn't have thought that you could freeze cookies, but that's fascinating. So what's your verdict on the book?
Now, this is a really great cookbook that's really going to help the family budget. And the recipes are family friendly and will appeal to everyone. So it's a winner. It's one to get for the kitchen.
Awesome. Okay, so next book we're going to talk about is a children's book. So let's hear about Toot the Tow Truck, Nino and Friends by Dino Yippity.
Yeah, this is so you probably know Dino because he's been on the show a few times. So he's a children's performer. He's topped the UK children's music bestseller chart, so he's really talented. He's even played at Glastonbury Music Festival in the kids field, so that's incredible. So he enjoys touring and performing throughout Australia and New Zealand. And he also writes books.
Well, I understand this is illustrated by Bruce Potter. So let's hear a little bit about the story without hearing the full details.
Oh yeah, okay. So Granny's goats have been joyriding on farmers Tom's tractor, and they've got themselves in a bit of a pickle. So the tractor's stuck in the pond, and the goats are up the tree. So you can imagine that scenario.
Hang on a minute.
So
The goats are up the tree and there's a tractor in the pond.
there
Okay,
is, there is.
great.
So that's a bit of a problem to fix. So the fire engine Nino, he quickly looks at the situation. So he discovers he can probably pull the goats out of the pond, but he might need to toot the tow truck. Try saying that in
It's
a
a
hurry.
tongue twister. Toot
And
the
to
tow
pull it
truck,
out.
the tongue twister. Well, I
I
love this.
know,
And I actually
no.
love the fact that Nino is such a fabulous name for a fire engine. Like, Nino,
That's cool.
Nino. All right. Well, obviously, this book is a winner. So thank you so much for talking about it. And what about the illustrations? How do you find those?
Oh, they're colourful and they just add to the book. You know, when you read a picture book, the illustrations are kind of 50% of it, really, aren't they? All those little details that aren't in the story. So it's a wonderful read.
Wonderful. Okay. So if someone would like to check out any of these books, what website would you send them to?
Oh gosh,
All
probably
your good
like something like
bookstores?
yeah, all good bookstores. Probably something like Mighty Ape. You know, that's New Zealand's own online bookstore, so they'll have all these. Yeah,
Okay, fantastic. Mightyape.co.nz. Well, thank you so much, Karen McMillan, for joining me today.
it's been fun. Thanks, Kat.
Ah, amazing. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss the next video.
We'll see you in the next one.